What's going on, everyone? So, talked about Herb Jones and Trey Murphy being targets for the San Antonio Spurs. And personally, I actually don't hate the idea of the Spurs just kind of pivoting and going and getting those two, even over, say, a Kevin Durant, because you immediately solve both forward spots. Even if you go trade for a Kevin Durant, what you'd have to trade for Kevin Durant based on kind of the reports and things that are out, you could probably go get both Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. Maybe you have to give up slightly more because of how young Trey Murphy is. But again, you have your five locked up, really 6, 7 locked up for the next 6+ years. Your starting five would be De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Victor Wembanyama. Right? And then on top of that, you'd still have Dylan Harper, Julian Champagnie. Go get a legit center, and you could probably keep Harrison Barnes too, which would be great. And also, by the way, you could go make other trades and other moves because those two guys combined make less than Kevin Durant, and you'd have to probably give up less. So you could still go take Harrison Barnes and whatever else to go get other guys, and you're locked up, right? You're good. And you're probably one of the best teams in all of basketball, right? But I wanted to kind of go through and break down Herb Jones and Trey Murphy individually, right? Talked about the generic, like, hey, what about these two? And then I broke down Herb Jones already. Check out that video after this video. And in this video, I want to break down Trey Murphy because Trey Murphy, one, is the younger, right? He will be 25 in a couple days. Depending on when you watch this video, might already be 25. So he's still very young. And he's already proven as a 20-point-a-game scorer with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. He's literally a 25-4 guy already who also can play either forward spot, defend multiple positions, right? Is a legit 3-and-D wing that can self-create for himself and create for others, right? Like, go get Trey Murphy. I would, even if the Spurs go and land Kevin Durant, I would still look to go get, can you get a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy? But Trey Murphy in particular, right? Young, talking about, 6'8", 6'9" in size, slot in either forward spot. Probably best as your 4, right? Guy that just give you those advantage points there. Now, something I want to make that I think is important, right? Herb Jones' production and output skyrocketed, but his efficiency dropped a little bit. Same thing with Herb Jones. Now, it's not a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence that, one, both guys got an expanded role, and two, their efficiency dropped. And it's because they didn't have, they had to self-create everything. They didn't have a playmaker, right? DeJounte Murray basically missed the entire season. So everything, especially Trey Murphy, ended up being the number one option. Defenses locked in and honed in on him, right? And at times, it was pretty much just him on the court, right? So again, it's not a coincidence that their efficiency dropped. I expect their efficiency to get back to at least their average playing on a team like the Spurs, because you're going to have De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, right? It's not going to be just you, right? So something to kind of keep in mind as we head into this. But last year, 35 minutes per game is what he played. So we don't even have to look at his per 36, right? Basically, this is what he is as a player. 35 minutes per game, just under 16 attempts, 15.8 attempts per game, which is the most of his career. Shot 45.4% from the floor. He is a career 45.4% from the floor, right? But it's certain areas, particularly the three-point percentage, right? Three-point percentage was the worst of his career on 8.3 attempts, which is the most of his career. But he shot 36.1%, which, by the way, isn't bad. 36.1% is not bad at all. However, again, I do think that it's because he had to do everything by himself rather than having a guy that could set him up like a De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, or even a Dylan Harper, right? But he is a career 38% three-point shooter on 6.2 attempts, right? 2-point percentage on 7.6 attempts. He shot 55.6%. He is a career 57% guy, so slightly below on that EFG of 54.8%, which is the lowest since his rookie season. He's a career 57.2%. Free throw shooting. He shot 88.7%, so basically 89%. He is a career 88% or 87.5% free throw shooter for his career. 5 rebounds. 3.5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 21.2 points per game. It's perfect, right? Like a guy that go get you 20 on any given night, that can defend multiple positions, that can, even help protect the rim, right? And get you the occasional block, knock down the 3 ball, play on ball, play off ball, shoot with efficiency, slot that in, and let's go, right? Because again, the Spurs, they have, it's not as simple as like you get Kevin Durant and that's it. If the Spurs were a Kevin Durant away from like packing it up and like, let's go contend for championships, then yeah, it'd be like, go get Kevin Durant, right? I still think if you can get Kevin Durant, go get Kevin Durant, like sure, right? But you still have other needs that need to be addressed, right? You still need to solve the other forward spot, right? Are you really going with Dylan Harper? So what, you're going to go Fox, Harper, Castle, Kevin Durant, and Wemby? So then you're really counting on Wemby, Fox, and KD to be the guys. Now, look, I'm not saying Stephon Castle won't be great. I'm not saying Dylan Harper won't be great. But, once you get to the playoffs and their lack of experience, and I mean, even Wemby's lack of experience in the playoffs, right? Like you're leaning heavily to De'Aaron Fox and really Kevin Durant in those tough moments, right? You're seeing it right now in the NBA Finals, right? With the team like the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like OKC, I actually think is the better team, but all these games that are close, Pacers are winning them all. Why? Because they've been there. They've done that. They were just in the conference finals, right? Like they've had playoff runs. They've had playoff experience. They've been in tight games. They know what it's like. And they've done it all this year, right? So again, I look at this team and I'm like, I'd rather have kind of all of the, like have your roster locked up, right? So also you have more of a window. Like you could go get Kevin Durant this year and even solve that other forward spot, right? Like, and still not win a championship, right? So like, let's say best case scenario, let's say that they trade for Kevin Durant, and let's say they still trade for Herb Jones, right? There's potential that they might not win a championship next season, right? However, instead of Kevin Durant, if you had Trey Murphy, yes, you still might not win a championship next year, right? But if you don't, it's not the end of the world, right? Trey Murphy's now 26, Herb Jones is now 28, where Kevin Durant, he's now 38, right? Like, there's the risk of the decline, right? Like, your window's just so much shorter, and you can kind of piece in what you need to do. Also, what you'd have to give up salary-wise and all that other stuff for Kevin Durant, you wouldn't have to give up for Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. Like, the two of them combined are making less than Kevin Durant. And so you could go and trade for those two, still keep, like I said, a Harrison Barnes, have go get a backup center, right? Have a Julian Champagnie, Dylan Harper. Right? Like, you're great. You're 9-10 guys deep. You have a chance to win a championship. You get a guy in a Trey Murphy who's already proven to be a 25 or 25-4 guy. Right? Like, it's perfect. Exactly what you need. Now, I don't necessarily expect him to be a 25-4 guy with the Spurs, just given, again, De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper and all that stuff. But I think he'd be a 15-5-5 guy, right? I think that's not out of the realm of possibility, right? And again, defend multiple positions, play multiple positions. If you can get Trey Murphy, I think you go get Trey Murphy, right? I really like the idea of, instead of going and getting Kevin Durant, and I know like the injuries, right? Again, Herb Jones and Trey Murphy are both coming off injuries. Well, Kevin Durant, with his age, his recent injury history, like there's risk regardless, right? If you're making decisions based on injuries, you're probably never making a move ever, right? Especially in today's NBA. To me, I'd rather you just solve all your needs. Clean, boom, here's my starting five for the next 6 years. Let's start building chemistry, start building, what we need to build so we can go win multiple championships. Right? Yes, not the sexy name. I get it. Kevin Durant is the sexy name and the guy that, and to be fair, he's proven he's been there and done that, but it's fine. Right? Like, again, you let this team grow, you let this team marinate. They're young enough to be the piece. You still have Castle, Harper, and Wemby in a post era, even beyond them, and really Murphy, because again, Murphy's 25. So even when De'Aaron Fox ages out, right? And potentially Herb Jones ages out. You'd still have Harper, Castle, Fox, Wemby, and then Trey Murphy, right? Let's go. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.